Lara, this is Theatre of Science. I am actually trained to teach physics to A-level. I've got a first class drama degree and a first class science degree and a PGC. I'm very qualified, that's what I'm saying. I stream free live lessons for home educators. I fuse your neurons. There are free worksheets. This isn't one of those, is it? This is the weekly Lego story show that I stream, where I just chat about a thing that you wanted me to learn about, and we do an activity, and there's a story told with Lego at the end. Now, usually I say you can drop in any time. You can drop in at any time. This is the first time we've ever got a little bit cliquey, because my costume is based on previous Lego show. So we did a Lego show about sea lions and walruses quite recently. So I've come as a ghost walrus. Yeah, obvious. But I was like, I can't keep that up. So instead of being a ghost walrus, I thought I could be a ghost capybara, because we have talked about capybaras previously as well, where I had a little orange on my head. But I didn't have any white oranges. The only white Jellycat toy I have is this toilet roll. Does that say ghost capybara? No. So in the end, I went with something which was a little bit more manageable. Ghost trilobite! Come on! Ghost trilobite! Except we learned in the trilobite show, trilobites are arthropods, not mammals. So they don't have whiskers. So there, I fixed it. Whew! Right, we're talking about ghosts. We're not going to talk about anything scary, because a lot of people think that science and creativity and imagination are kind of opposites, and they're really not. Like, science talks about what there is evidence for, okay? So there is no scientific evidence that ghosts exist at all. And I am a science teacher, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a brain that evolved a long time ago, and that if I watch a horror film with my husband, he has to go into the kitchen with me afterwards, and basically wherever I go in the house for like half an hour afterwards, because of that feeling. So you can feel like ghosts exist. You can feel anything you like, but because this is a science show, we'll be talking about what there is actual evidence for, and why humans have sort of evolved to feel a bit like So, what you need to do for the activity, right, is, usually I do it with you. I don't know, I might be lazy and just leave it here. I want you to cut up a piece of A4 paper into 6 bits. And if you've got 3 different coloured pens, can you draw 3... I always make crafting sound really complicated. What I want you to draw is 3 circles and 3 triangles. But can you make them 3 different colours? So can you have like a triangle that's red and a circle that's red, a triangle that's blue and a circle that's blue, and a triangle that's orange and a circle that's orange? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, don't you? I'm going to do it with you so that I know that I've got the timings right, okay? So cut a piece of paper into 6 and get 3 different coloured pens and draw like a different coloured circle and triangle on each one. It doesn't really matter if you get it wrong. It doesn't matter if you end up with like the same coloured triangle twice. We just need to be able to pick a card and not know what is on the card, okay? Right, so I think basically, when you talk about do ghosts exist and why do humans feel like ghosts exist, it all basically comes down to, if you imagine humans thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, where there was stuff around that could hunt humans and kill humans, and humans were evolving to kind of survive in this environment. The humans that were like, was that a tiger? Nah, probably not. And the humans that went, I think it might be something over there. Run in that direction just in case. Like, can you tell which one of those was most likely to survive? Yeah? I feel like if you were a little bit twitchier, then maybe you had to be. You were far more likely to survive than the people who were like, oh, I thought I might have seen her. Nah, it's probably nothing. So over time, humans have evolved to put patterns together very quickly, which we'll talk about, and to just be a little bit like... So one of the reasons why we think that people think that ghosts exist is this thing called sleep paralysis, which sounds really scary. It's actually really common. You won't know if it happens to you. I'm just going to be... In fact, I'll get rid of this. I'll do this with you. I'll colour in with you. When you sleep, you go through like different phases of sleep. And one of these phases is called REM, like rapid eye movement sleep, where your eyes move really quickly. And apparently, at this point, you are paralysed, like you can't move in your bed when you go through a certain sleep cycle. So we all get phases every night where we can't sleep, where we can't move. And sometimes you can kind of wake up and still be paralysed. So if you happen to wake up, like if something wakes you up in the middle of the night or whatever, you can be awake but not able to move. And sometimes, okay, right, I've done a brown circle, so now I'm going to do a brown triangle, okay? So we just need You don't double up the colours or the shapes. Yeah, I've done a brown circle, so now I'm going to do a brown triangle. But it doesn't really matter. So sometimes humans hallucinate as well when they're in sleep paralysis. Apparently hallucination, like seeing things that aren't really there, far more common than people might think. So if you're really tired or you're really stressed, it's not uncommon to hallucinate, just see things like you're kind of like dreaming, but when you're awake, see things that aren't there. So if someone is undergoing sleep, is experiencing sleep paralysis, like they can't move, and they've woken up, and they happen to hallucinate, then that would be a kind of really good opportunity for someone to think, oh my goodness, like there's a ghost. I saw a creepy thing in my bedroom. Now, obviously it's not very likely that this is going to happen very often, but there are 8 billion humans. 8 billion humans on the planet. So it doesn't have to happen that often before people start going, guys, this terrifying thing happened to me last night, and then word gets around, right? So I think that's one of the things. I will note at this point that most ghostly reports take place when it's dark, and this is not a coincidence. The activity that we're going to do will sort of show as well why this is not a coincidence. So sleep paralysis is one thing. I did find on the BBC website, right, I'm drawing a red circle and a red triangle now. I found on the BBC website that this chap had done a professor at a university, had noticed that when his children played in his basement, they often behaved a bit strangely, like just sort of a bit out of character. He noticed the difference. And then he was watching a programme about haunted houses, and he noticed that there was a lot of mould in this haunted house. And because he was a science professor, he thought, oh, I wonder if there's something in that. And the BBC says that he went off and did a study and found out that there is a correlation, like there is a relationship between people thinking that a house is haunted and the house being mouldy. And the BBC was making these big claims about, oh yes, certain types of mould are known to cause this and that and this and that and make you hallucinate. When I actually looked up the types of mould, I couldn't really find anything. In fact, the only thing I found said, yeah, black mould, like there's not really very much scientific evidence that it's as horrendous as humans say that it is, but don't go near black mould. It's not good for your allergies. But anyway, apparently they did do a study and they did find that haunted houses were more likely to be mouldy. So maybe that's part of it. And then that led me to this interesting thing which I had not heard of before, called sick building syndrome. Have you heard of sick building syndrome? This idea that certain buildings make people poorly. Like you go into a building, you feel poorly, and you only get better when you leave that building. This sounded like total bobbins to me. And then when I looked it up, it's on the NHS website. Like, guys, the National Health Service, yeah. Look. Sick building syndrome. Sick building syndrome is the name of symptoms you get while you're in a particular building. It usually happens in an office, because people like work in offices and work is rubbish. So, yeah, makes you... Yeah, anyway. It usually happens in offices, but you can get it in any building. Symptoms only get better after you leave. So you get things like headache, dry, itchy skin, sore throat, coughing and wheezing, tiredness, like difficulty concentrating. Do you think any of those could sort of make you feel like maybe a house was haunted? You're definitely going to get a weird feeling if you go into one of these buildings that causes sickness. Speak to your manager, blah, 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 blah. Open windows. I mean, maybe that, like, it quite often happens in high-rise buildings, apparently. So maybe there's something going on, like maybe there's some horrible particles in the high-rise building. I don't know. They don't know what causes it. Flickering lights, problems with the layout. Anyway, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. So there are... the NHS has kind of picked up on this idea that there are buildings that make people feel not very nice when they go into them. But we don't know what that is. Maybe in your lifetime we will find out. But that could quite easily, couldn't it? If a building is going to make you feel poorly, that could lead to people talking about how certain buildings, or I guess even maybe certain rooms in certain buildings, they don't like going into because they get a weird feeling. Right, we're nearly ready for the eye bit. Here we go. I'll do another colour. Probably brown and red wasn't the best thing to do. It would be best if you could use like really different colours, I guess. What's a really different... I'll do blue now. I'll do a blue circle and a blue triangle, and then we'll get on with this activity. Right, so that's sick build. Oh yeah! So I've never really heard of this. There's this thing called, this German word, Gestalt. So there are Gestalt psychologists, like scientists that talk about this word Gestalt, which kind of means like patterns. And it's this idea that humans see a whole thing, before they see bits of thing, which I think comes back to this idea of like a human that looks at a bush and goes, is that a stripy orange and black tail I see? Oh, and some whiskers. Let me just put, like, they're definitely going to be dead, right, by the time they've started that thought process. Whereas if your brain glimpses a couple of things and goes, tiger, you are more likely to survive. So humans who do that are more likely to have babies and pass on that fear to their babies. And we have evolved to respond like that, like to look at little bits of stuff and to make assumptions. It was really interesting. I could do a whole show on Gestalt theory, like apparently this idea that if you put a few chairs in a group, humans will be like, okay, yeah, that must be the seating area, because it's just like very quickly we just, you know what I mean? Straight away, you know what I mean, right? So this idea of pattern recognition and seeing little bits and putting it all together is one way to describe ghosts, which I think sort of makes sense, especially if you put it together with this thing called confirmation bias. All right, we're nearly done. We talked a lot about confirmation bias when we did a Lego show about the Bermuda Triangle. So the Bermuda Triangle, famous bit of the ocean where ships go missing. And this is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. It's a big bit of ocean, roughly in the shape of a triangle, and ships that pass through it sometimes just completely disappear. That is true. That is a scientific fact, we learned. So people are really freaked out about the Bermuda Triangle. You know, people sort of don't like sailing through it. It's got this really creepy reputation. The trick is, the thing is, that ships go missing all over the planet. Like there's loads and loads and loads of ships all the time sailing around. Oh, I've just realised I haven't done my trilobite costume. They're called trilobites because they've got 3 body segments, so my scarf is supposed to be separating my butt. Sorry. How embarrassing. I've just been in this rubbish trilobite costume. There, fixed it. Yeah. There's loads of ships all over the planet. Like, obviously, if there's so many ships, some ships are going to go missing. It's just humans don't notice when a ship goes missing, like in the Southern Ocean. Whereas as soon as a ship goes missing in the Bermuda Triangle, everyone's like, I told you, it's the Bermuda Triangle. There's something creepy going on. So if someone has said to you, that house is haunted, and you go in, and you start to feel a bit weird, well, I'll tell you what, if you've done all these shapes, let's do this activity, and then because then we'll that tells us about one of the pieces that you might put together if you feel like you've had a spooky situation. Are you okay? It doesn't matter if you haven't done all of them. Like if you've done 4, that's totally fine. What we're going to do is we're going to gather up these bits of card or paper, sort of shuffle them around a bit, and put them face down on a table so we don't know what we've got. Okay? You can carry on doing it while I'm chatting, because one of the things. Oh yeah, so I had this beautiful square when I was talking about how humans see the whole. I was going to show you this and say, do you know what shape that is? And then you were going to say, yeah, of course I can tell what shape that is. It's like a square rectangle. And I was going to say, yeah, even though it's not joined up lines, you can still tell because of that Gestalt thing. You're just putting. Anyway, we've moved on. So yeah, I did know a bit about the eyes, but I've learned some cool new stuff about the eyes for doing this show. So you've got 2 different cells in the back of your eye that detect 2 slightly different things. You've got cones that detect colour. So it's only the cones in the back of your eye that show you the difference between something that's yellow and red and orange or whatever. And the other cells you've got are the rods, which just see in black and white, but they're very good at detecting movement. And your rods and your cones, the coloured ones and the sort of black and white movementy ones, they're not equally spread out all over the back of your eye. Now, I did know that. What I didn't realise is that, so light comes into your eye and lands, I'll show you this picture. Here we go. So here's a little diagram of your eye. You've got your cornea there, your lens, okay? So the light travels through the lens, it goes to the back of your eye, and that's how you see a picture. But I didn't realise that there's just a teeny tiny little bit here in your retina, that's like the screen. A tiny little bit there that's got loads of cones and rods. And if light lands there, you see a really clear picture. But the further you get away from that, the fewer rods and cones there are. And on the very sort of outskirts, if you like, you've only got a few rods. So what I didn't realise is that that little area where you see really clearly, it's like if you look into the night sky, if the night sky is the back of your eye, that little bit where you see really clearly is about the size of the moon in the night sky. So if light lands on any other little bit, you're not getting sort of the full picture. So what we're talking about is like the corner of your eye. So peripheral vision. Okay, have you drawn enough little shapes? Yeah, let's get these. So you might be seeing where we're getting at here. What we're going to do is pick up one of these cards. This is really, I'm going to have to hold it so that it's off screen, because if it's on screen, obviously I can see it. The idea is we stare straight ahead. But, so I'm shuffling these cards. I'm going to put them face down on the table so I don't know which one's which. I'm going to pick one up and hold it facing me like this, but like behind me. So I'm facing straight ahead. Apparently it's really difficult to not look to the side. I got this from the website Exploratorium, by the way, who are amazing. It's a museum, but Exploratorium, science snacks, just Google Exploratorium science activity and it comes up with loads of stuff. It's so good. So you stare straight ahead, don't look to the side, even though you're going to want to, and you move the card and it just appears in the corner of your eye. And what the Exploratorium Museum website says is, see what you notice. So straight away I can see there's something in the corner of my eye because I've got a few rods there, right? And they are detecting movement. So straight away I'm like, because I've evolved to do that, presumably. But I have no idea what shape it is and I have no idea what colour it is. So I'm going to move it forward a little bit more. And you can do this with me, right? Okay, this is awful because you can maybe sort of see the angle of my hand. Right, it's a triangle. And I can't quite tell whether it's a red triangle or a brown triangle. I know that this is really interesting. This is what they were expecting me to do. Because remember I said, so the cones are closer towards the centre and the cones are what detect colour. So I'm pretty sure now that this is a triangle that I'm holding because I've got a few more rods on the job and they're showing me the shape of it. But the rods only detect black and white. So I've still got no idea what colour this triangle is. Whoa, you're a lot younger than me, presumably. I mean, some of you not. Wow. Like, I mean, it's quite early. I'm going to say a brown triangle, but honestly, like it's now here and I'm not entirely sure. It's a brown triangle. Woof. Okay, that was really interesting. Huh, the human body. All right, I'm going to do one more, but faster, because sorry, that was a bit tedious. But hopefully you are doing this with me. Okay. Moving. Can definitely see movement. If that was a tiger, I would be all the way over there right now. It's a circle and it's blue. Oh, it's brown. Okay, right. So this is exactly what they were expecting. So the point of that is humans are brilliant at detecting movement out of the corner of their eye. They are not brilliant. In fact, no offense everyone, we are rubbish at actually being able to see what it is. So if you go into a house which you have been told is haunted, and maybe there's a bit of a pressure difference in there, so the floorboard creaks, and maybe you see something out of the corner of your eye, maybe like a fly flies past, and you're like, movement! But there's nothing there. Because of confirmation bias, the whole Bermuda Triangle thing, and this making a whole picture out of just little bits of stuff, you're very quickly going to start thinking, okay, there's something going on here that is not right. Because if you were in just your home and you heard a floorboard creak, you wouldn't notice it, would you? Or if you were playing in a park with your friends and you saw a fly flying by, you wouldn't even notice. But because you've been sort of put on edge, you're much more likely to form these pictures really quickly. It makes sense, doesn't it? It does make sense. I'm not saying that ghosts don't exist. I sort of like very much feel that they do, even though they don't. But do they? I don't know. It's not what this show is about. Right, that's pretty much it. I said to bring a CD case and we would do an activity. Clearly this has gone on for quite enough and it is time for the Lego story. Also, I tested this activity out on the poor people of Facebook the other day and it just didn't work that well. What you were supposed to do is, so that you can do it in your own time if you want, you get a CD case like this, take the front of it out, put it at an angle, and then you get a little picture. So I just drew a picture of like some food and put it in the back there. So you've got a CD case where the clear front is at 45 degrees. So what this was showing us was how people used to do pictures, how people used to show ghosts in the theatre in ye olden times. Actually, this looks like it might work quite well. So if you've got a little Lego figure, like if you're the audience now, then my hands here, that would be backstage, right? So the idea was someone could dress as a ghost here. And can you kind of see that, like, you can sort of see the ghost? I think it actually works better if you draw a ghost on a little bit of paper, which I am doing now really quickly. What amazing TV in the background. And then if I cut this little ghost out, if you've got some time on your hands today and you want to have a little play making a little puppet theatre where an actual ghost appears, then have a go. Because I do stream free live what I call actual lessons, where I sort of pause and I give you questions, and it's a bit more about you and a bit less about me being silly. You can sort of, so like someone dressed as a ghost like that. Like, it's working better when there's a white background, isn't it, I think? Oh, I'm going to eat the food. Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? I think if you had more lights, like, well, I did bring a torch through with me. Oh, I don't know. It feels like this is all getting a bit tedious now, to be perfectly honest with you. My Lara, just get on with it. Alarm is going off in my head, so we'll move on. But that is how they did something called Pepper's Ghost, which is a very cool theatrical trick in, well, here's a picture of it from 1865. So this is slightly different. This would be angled forwards. So the audience is here. The person dressed as a ghost is down here. The audience doesn't know that there's a big sheet of glass faced towards them. So when light shines on that ghost, some light shines onto this glass and is reflected back to the audience. But the audience's brains see light coming from this direction and go, oh, there must be a ghost over there. And they imagine that the ghost is over there. If you want a slightly more high-tech version of this, then I've made this ghost box here, which I will show you. I'll show you the inside first. So there's a hole here that you look through. There's a sheet of glass here that nobody knows is there. Here's Batman, like, on his tea break, and here is a skeleton that you can't see when you put your eye through the hole. So the idea is, I've done that thing that I do where I've charged a torch really carefully and then just dumped it somewhere. I don't know where it is now. But the idea is that if you look through this little hole, so there's Batman just on his tea break, right? Just chilling. If I sort of close that and I lift up the other hole, can you see a skeleton? I don't feel like you can, really. You see anything there? Like, kind of a tiny little bit. If I had my torch, it would work much better. Where have I put my torch, guys? Come on. Come on! Hey! It's a good job there's not 100 people watching, or this would be, like, really awkward. I might just go and see if it's next door, because it is better with a torch. Or I could just steal my husband's mobile phone. Oh, yes! This is exactly how my brain works. Like, my brain will happily be organised enough to actually charge the phone, the torch, and then at the last second, I will just dump it somewhere, forget about it. But I found my child's reading light, so here we go. So I'll flip you around. If I put you in this box again, if you get a torch and you hold it like above the skeleton. Oh, wow, look at that! Okay, so that skeleton is not actually there. That's me holding the light above the skeleton, and light from the skeleton is bouncing off that bit of glass and into your eyes. Wowzers! Pretty cool, eh? So if we lift up this hole again so we can really see Batman. Batman just chilling. Move the light around. Skeleton! It's good, isn't it? Have a go at that today. You can always watch this back if you want to see how I did it. I think that's pretty cool. Right, it's definitely time for the Lego story now. There you go. So if you, I don't know, if you want to get to this bit of the video, that's how I made it. Obviously, get an adult to help you with the glass. That's just a picture frame that broke, and then full disclosure, I smashed it on purpose to do this, and then I covered it up with some sellotape to keep myself safe, but don't do that on your own. Right, taking off my trilobite scarf and my trilobite earmuffs. It's time for my weird walrus thing. It's time for the Lego story. I think that's zoomed in enough. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay. Excuse me. Humans are great at feeling things. It's what makes us so creative and fabulous. But humans feeling scared or confused is also a great way to make money. The internet is swarming with people writing shocking things that aren't true to make us click a link or a comment, and each comment and click makes us angrier and angrier and makes the liars more powerful and gives them more cash. The Bang sisters worked in the 1870s. So the internet wasn't available for shocking people into giving them money. But they did have big dresses, a cat, and they lived in America at a time when spiritualism was very popular. You see, just to go back a little bit, in 1741, a very respectable scientist had had a spiritual awakening or a midlife crisis, depending on your point of view, and told everyone that God had already judged humans like he said he was going to, but we hadn't noticed because he'd done it in something called the spirit world, which exists between various heavens and hells. People really liked this idea. And by the 1800s, people called mediums were claiming to be able to speak to spirits in the spirit world who had seen things regular humans couldn't see. And these spirits could pass on messages via the mediums. It's a brilliant idea, isn't it? Like, there is no scientific evidence for this at all, but something about this just makes my brain go, yeah, that sounds right. I'm quite worried I'm going to turn you on spiritualists, actually. There are many spiritualists around today. Anyway, some people really believed this and were spiritualists, and some people heard it and thought, cha-ching! In the 1840s, the Fox sisters became very famous for saying that they could communicate with spirits by asking them to knock or rap on things. Here we are, here's one of the Fox sisters saying, "Knock once if this is real." OMG gasp, it's doubly real. 40 years later, the Fox sisters did admit, actually, that they'd been the making the noises by cracking their toes, and later worked out how to crack their legs. Do not try that at home, children. But by then, the spiritualist movement had taken off and could not be stopped, inspired by the Fox sisters. Two brothers with the second name Davenport also started having mysterious experiences and touring America and England, selling tickets so that people could watch. At the start of the show, their stage manager, Dr. J.B. Ferguson, what a great name for a guy with this job, Dr. J.B. Ferguson would do a speech telling everyone in the audience that what they were about to see was definitely real and caused by spirits. And then the brothers would be tied up and put into a box. And then, after the tied up brothers had gone into the box and the box had been sealed, you won't believe this, guys, you won't believe this, instruments and bells were heard to play, even though they were tied up in the box. How could it possibly be happening? Many people were astounded. Many others, including the journalist Edward Dicey, who was home educated, by the way, noticed that these ropes looked really easy to slip your hands out of. And wasn't it a bit weird that the brothers employs like maybe 3 or even 4 people to help them do this show? Famous magician Herman the Conjurer was in the audience on one embarrassing night for the Davenports. And luckily for us, Herman the Magician wrote about what happened afterwards. He tells us that some very scientifically minded students had brought quite a new invention with them when they came to see the show. They brought some pyrotechnic balls that could give off bright light very suddenly. This was quite a new thing, being able to suddenly give off bright light. And Herman tells us that during the seance, when the Davenports were supposed to be bound hand and foot within the closet, and when guitars were apparently floating in the air, the students struck their lights, whereupon the spirits were found to be no other than the Davenports themselves, dodging about the stage, brandishing guitars, playing tunes, and waving. Oops. The brothers faced very angry riots multiple times, actually. There were very angry riots in Paris when audiences got onto the stage to check the ropes and found out that it was all just a trick. In England, volunteers helped the Davenports tie their knots and then tied them too tight, and they couldn't get them undone and nothing happened. But proving something isn't real doesn't stop people believing it, does it? In Chicago, in the 1870s, you could pay to go to the Bang sisters' houses, and they would contact dead people for you. So how it worked was, they would do things like go into a cupboard and tie themselves up, and then they would shut the door. And then again, mysterious music would be heard, and sometimes, if you were really lucky, they'd even come out with a cat, which they claimed had just visited from the spirit world, even though it was actually a kitten that they had shaved, apparently. Rich men came to the Bang sisters' house, and their dead wives and mothers told them to marry the Bang sisters and to share all their money with them, and they did. I mean, it sounds silly now, right? But you know, if you've got certain beliefs and your brain is vulnerable and you're in the dark surrounded by excellent actors and shaved cats, the Bang sisters became extremely famous for this thing called spirit painting, where they would stand in front of an easel that had a blank canvas on it, and they would tell the spirits to project images onto the screen, and then an image would mysteriously appear. Wow. It turns out that they were actually hiding pre-painted canvases underneath their massive dresses and then just swapping them when no one was looking. Other activities by less than scrupulous mediums included having everyone stand in a circle around a trumpet. And then the trumpet would magically rise into the air and hover near someone's ear, and the spirits would speak to the person through the trumpet. I am actually going to pause this Lego story to get you to recreate this right now, okay? I want you to gently put the palms of your hands on your ears and move it around, okay? I'll start moving the trumpet again when it's time to finish. Just get the palms of your hands right now, put them over your ears, and very gently move them around and see what you hear. Palms of your hands on your ears, move them around gently. Did you hear spirits? Did you hear the spirits? Okay, maybe you're saying you heard air moving between your fingers, but if an excellent performer had whipped you up so you really believed you were about to make contact with the spirit world, and then you heard that, we might have electric light now and smaller dresses, but in 150 years, humans haven't changed. So if someone or something shocks you, keep calm, everybody. They might have a trick up their sleeve. The end. I liked that one. That's always a good excuse. You know, it's lovely to have an opportunity to tie a saxophone to a broom. You know what I mean? That's it. And then like there's a lot of bits in this one that I want to bring into other Lego stories. Right, you lot. That is the end of my Lego story show about the science of ghosts. I hope that you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with that. Now, as usual, there's no comments on my YouTube videos, but if you want to go over to Facebook, if you have a Facebook account, then you can leave me a comment on my Facebook page because there's a post there at the top. If you haven't got a Facebook account, to be honest, that is the right answer in life. Thank you so much for watching. I can see the number, so I know that you have watched, and I'm very grateful. Thank you. But if you are thinking, I'd better just explain, because there are some new people here, how on earth this works, because this is the weirdest job ever. I literally invented this job in 2020. So I started streaming free lessons in lockdown, and then I didn't even know that home educating was a thing. And then lockdown finished, and people were like, actually, we're just like here all the time. Can you just keep doing this? So I did. So I said, all right, there's this website called Ko-fi. So if you send me a bit of money on Ko-fi, then that'll be enough that I can just keep doing this my job. And it's amazing. It's like 5 years later, and you actually are. So this is my job. Look at me. Look at me. I dress as a ghost trilobite for a living. So how it works is everything is free. The printouts for the lessons are free. This Lego show is free. I do an IGCSE physics lesson because that's actually what I'm trained to teach. I stream that for free. I stream an all ages lesson, which is the most popular thing. No offense to this thing. And that's all streamed for free as well. And it's all saved for watching on catch up on my website. And if you are enjoying me as a resource, then you can send me £5 a month. So if you go to sign up at the top of my Facebook page, or you go to my website and click sign up anywhere, hopefully, or if you're on YouTube, you can go to my about section. The link will be there. And yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, if I had actually thought about how to run a business, there's no way I would have ever done this. But you are just paying me, even though you don't have to. So if you sign up to support me, I send you nice things to say thank you so much, because clearly this is the best job ever. Clearly. Look at me. So I do write something called Theatre of Science magazine. I don't write very often because of all the planning and the teaching. But I do occasionally write a Theatre of Science magazine and post it out to people. Ah, yes, I'm on Facebook to look for my comments. Here we go. Yeah, so if you want to support me, if you sign up with £5 a month, I will send you a little welcome pack to say thank you very much. I should say it's £5 a month and then you cancel anytime. Or if you can't work it out, you message me and then I cancel for you. But yeah, anyone who signs up receives some rainbow glasses, which make you see rainbows. They're amazing. If you do sign up, can you tell me how many children there are in your house? And I will send enough rainbow glasses for everybody. And at the moment, you're getting this past issue on mould. It's quite appropriate, actually, because we mentioned mould earlier. So yeah, I write it. Husband designs it for me, and I send you this free home compostable plastic bag. So you make this tray at the back, you put different foods in, you put it all in the bag, hopefully you grow some mould and maybe even identify it, and then yeah, you can compost the whole thing. So there's a Choose Your Own Adventure that I wrote, there's a beautiful comic about penicillin and how it might have been one bloke that discovered it, but he had an awful lot of help when it came to saving the world with it. And if you sign up with £6 a month, which most people do actually, you're amazing. Then I also send you this time issue as well. It's got a sundial with it, another comic, some information, activities about like Einstein's theory of relativity and time zones and all that stuff. Yeah. Whew. So thank you. If you have received a welcome pack, you are partly responsible for this being my job. And yeah, best job ever. Oh, let's have a look at this. Is that Jack I see? Okay, so I'm on Facebook now. I'm going to read through some Facebook comments and see... see what people made of that. If you are new and you liked this, then it's a bit weird. I don't usually do this on a Monday, but last week I had to cancel because I had a sort of weird migraine where I couldn't see. So this week's timetable is all new. I haven't actually made the timetable yet because you want this week's Lego Story Show to be about witches, and I just can't think of an activity. Can't for the life of me thinking of an activity. But anyway, the oceans lesson, the all ages oceans lesson is about humans and the ocean. So you need to bring a bowl of water and oil. It's going to be really interesting, maybe a bit depressing. And the IGCSE lesson is about Sankey diagrams. So do feel free to come to those. Right, let's have a look. Oh, the Kodak Gallery. Really? Okay, let's have a look. There's Aurelia. Oh no, it's gone to... I just want to see all of the comments, Facebook, please. Hello, Aurelia. She said you looked like a ghost walrus. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's what I was going for. Hello, Violet. I am the ghost of a trilobite. Oh, you guys, you get it. Oh, hello, Eliza and Florence. There's a really good example of a ghost box in the Kodak Gallery in the Science and Media Museum in Bradford. Oh, that's really near me. I've never even been to the Science... How have I never been to the Science and Media Museum in Bradford? Thank you. That is a brilliant tip. Hello, Lyra and Milo and Zebedee. All right, you lot. Hello. That was mad bonkers brilliant. Ghost trilobites, rip-off seances, and Wanting is complete. Ah, Jack and Mum. That's nice. Oh, yes, Mum is old. Yeah, you have got a lot of CD cases. That's good. I wonder if the CD activity works better. I did it when we did our Macbeth lesson when I taught a module about Shakespeare. We did it and it worked really well. And I can't work out what I'm getting wrong, but I was in a... Actually, it sort of looks better now. I was in a different place. I think maybe it just depends where your lighting is. Yeah, see, that looks quite good. A ghost eating the food. Yum, 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 yum. That's all right, isn't it? That's okay. You totally get how it works. But it just, I think a lot of it depends on the angle. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fine. In fact, that's really good. If you imagine you're the audience member, it totally looks like this ghost is just floating through the food. Oh, I wish I'd... Whoa, it's even coming up. Oh, okay, I didn't actually know that you could do that. I didn't know that was going to be so good. Oh, blooming wish that I'd put this in the actual... in the actual, like, proper bit of the video. Yeah, so if I hold it at that angle, the ghost comes through the table and actually almost, like, comes towards you. That is cool. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm just... Wow, that's so much better than I thought it was. Right, who's here? Getting horribly distracted. Thank you, Jack. I wouldn't have noticed that. All right, Arthur. Hello, Arthur. Good to see you. Oh, hello, Colette and Chums. All right, you lot. Hello. Maybe it's just Colette. I don't know. It might be just Colette. But anyway, hello, if you're watching. Caris and Jessica and maybe Aaron? Maybe? Hello. Anyway, hello. All right, Ellen. Hello. And Eric. Hello. Ah, Tiger and Bird. And Banjo. Hello. I'm trying to lower my register because I'm going to lose my voice. I've got to stop putting on excited voice. Hello, Isla and Finley. Good to see you. Hi. Hello, Jacob. Hi. All right, Monty and Tim. Hello. What's that? Is that a ghost? Oh, is it a ghost? That's cute. All right, Jack. I enjoyed this lesson. I thought the ghost box was cool. Oh, thank you, Beatrix and Liza. Thank you. Goodness knows where that torch is. I don't know. I'm just going to probably sit on it at some point today. Right, YouTube, come on, Facebook, sort yourself out. Whoa, Sophie, Emily, Katie, Hannah, hello. Sophie wanted to show you her pumpkin collection, drawings she has done, and a pumpkin made of paper and tape. Oh, that sounds like a Theatre of Science activity. Wow, you did not, what? That is gorgeous. Wow, that's even late. Listen, guys, look at these pictures of pumpkins. How great is that? That is a lot of different types. We've got a lot of artists in my family. I am not one of them. Like, I don't know, haven't got the patience for it. But I can appreciate that is a lot of different types of art. Is it very cool? Wow. Yeah, could we do that on Theatre Science? I don't know. It might be a bit complicated for me. Since the mess I just did of that CD case one. Oh, Olivia! Hold the phone. Olivia's here. Hi, Olivia. I'm finally here. After starting school, it's really hard. You're here. You started school. Olivia is here, everyone. Olivia. It's Olivia, guys. It's Olivia P. Olivia P created, like, most of this stuff that you see. Olivia is, like, basically the kind of Theatre of Science manager. Look, Olivia made me this absolutely gorgeous Fimo Wormy so Wormy is the Theatre of Science mascot, and Lumiere is a glow-in-the-dark glowworm, who is also now the Theatre of Science mascot, and does appear in some of the comics. And there's the original Wormy that Olivia made. Olivia made me the first ever Wormy. Oh, Olivia, I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, I hope you're okay. That sounds hard. I mean, literally, because you said it was hard. But I hope it's all right as well. Ugh. I'm just going to give you one of those. A sympathetic. All right, Jancy, Jay and Daisy and Daniel. Oh, thank you for saying that. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, it was fine. I knew it cleared up, which is good, isn't it? That's good. Yeah, I was fine. Hello, Violet. Lara, you are nothing short of just being amazing. Ghost Walrus. Yeah, thanks. Amazing is that's one of the words you could choose for that. Oh, hello, Gracie and Amelie. Hello. What? I must say, I'm feeling a little bit like, I was quite enjoying having all those layers on. No! What? Wait, Colette, it's your first live lesson. Wait, was I mistaking you for somebody else? When you said, was it you that said hello before? I thought it was my friend Colette. But I must admit, I wasn't really... No, it wasn't! Oh my goodness! Right, you see what's happened is Colette. There's someone called Colette who doesn't come very often now because their kids are older. And I thought it was that Colette saying hello, Lara. But it's actually Lara saying hello. That's awesome. You've got my name. Don't tell the others, you've got the best name. Lara, no way that was that was a really confusing way of saying hello to you. I'm so sorry. Hello, Lara. Welcome to the Science Lines. Amazing. It's really weird saying hello, Lara. Hi, Lara. I feel like, you've seen Jurassic Park? That bit in Jurassic Park where it's like Mr. DNA and he's going, hello, John. Hello, John. Hello, John. Anyway, I've got a bit sidetracked. Lara, if you haven't seen Jurassic Park, then this has been the most confusing first hello anyone has ever had in Theatre Science. But hi, Lara. How you doing? Hope you're okay. Hi. Thanks for coming. I'm going to move on now because I'm embarrassed. Oh, Charlie. I love this lesson. It was so fun. When will I get my welcome pack, please? My mum joined and I'm looking forward to it. Charlie, that sounds like one of those messages you send if you actually signed up like 3 months ago and you're very politely going, you said, and then it's not, can I have? If you've actually got a proper problem, can you message? Because sometimes they do go missing. I have had some issues with the post office, which I won't go into because I don't want them to get angry with me and stop sending on my post, because my post is quite distinctive. I mean, I've written Charlie on the board, but I don't think that's going to help me find you. If it's been like a while, like if it's been more than 10 days, can you get your mum to message me and I'll put one in the post for you. Sorry about that. And also, thank you so much for signing up. Thank you loads for signing up. But yeah, if it's been less than 10 days, then I make my husband pack them now because, like, I'm too important, because I have to do all the, like, ghost trilobite stuff and he doesn't want to do that, so he can do the packing. So it might just be that he hasn't packed it because he's been busy. But if it's been more than 10 days, then tell him and I'll beat him up for you. Hello, Isabel and Thomas in Future Ventura. Thomas is excited about this lesson and hopes that you're feeling better now. Ah, thank you. Ah, Jonah and Jupiter, hello. What, you two? Oh, I don't see your names very often. That's very nice. Hello, Heidi and Lennon. Hello. Oh, that's very nice. Thanks for the love, you lot. Yeah, I am feeling loads better. Emma says, that was so worth the wait. Thank you, Lara. Thanks, Emma. I could probably put a lot less effort in, couldn't I, if I was more reliable? Like, if I started on time, I could probably just do, like, Ghost Capybara or something. But because I'm going to be, like, 7 minutes late, I'm like, oh, I better make it really good. Oh, I better do this as well. Oh, I don't know. It works, doesn't it? Whatever works for your brain is what works. Hello, Beatrix and Mum. Hello. Right, shall I press refresh to see if anyone else is here? Oh, I should say thanks for liking and subscribing as well. It honestly took me about 5 years to realise that if you're live on YouTube and you say things like and subscribe, people actually do like and subscribe. I was like, well, if they want to like and subscribe, they'll just do it. They don't need me to say like and subscribe, but apparently you do. So thanks. Subscribe. Thanks. I know some of you aren't logged in. It's dead annoying, isn't it? Oh, it's so annoying when you try and subscribe and then you can't. Just don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. It's the money, to be honest. Like, the likes and subscribes are nice, but it's the actual cash money that allows me to, you know, give my kids swimming lessons and eat food and the important stuff. So don't worry about subscribing. Just don't even bother. Don't worry about it. I'm not bothered. I'm not even bothered. Don't do it. Right, I've refreshed. Let's see who else is here. This is my holding music. Hello, Layla and gang. All right, now I'm a bit intimidated. How many people are in this gang? How many people are watching, Layla? How many? Hello, anyway, hiya. Hiya, you and the gang. There's Lara again. Hello, Lara. Hello, Imogen. Flappy Batty the toy bat. Bubbles and Pippi, the guinea pigs. And Bramble the dodgy teenage dog. All right. Dodgy dog. I don't know what that means. Bubbles and Bramble are best friends now. Wait, which one? I'm so confused. Bubbles is a guinea pig. Bramble is a dog, an old dog. And they both enjoy snacking on guinea pig poos and hay. Okay, sweet. There were a lot of sentences there that I didn't know how they were going to end. And then I was relieved about how they ended. There's a dodgy teenage dog and a guinea pig and a dog are best friends and they both enjoy snacking on guinea pig poo. Cool. Honestly, you do give me. Whew. And there's Jonah and Jupiter again. All right, so maybe that's it. I'm sorry if I haven't said your name, then I think Facebook can be a little bit annoying about how it shows me the comments. Oh, hello, Isla and Finley. See, I haven't said hello to you, have I? Hello, all right. I don't know why. I've tried to order them in order of newness, and yours is right down there. My son's first time. Lewis, 11. I loved it, especially a Lego story. Thank you, Lewis. Takes me age. Every so often, I sort of go on the internet and be like, guys, I'm doing too much. I am objectively doing too much, and I don't really know what people are paying me for. I need to drop something, and I'll drop the Lego story. And then people go, oh, no, you can't possibly do that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll drop something else. And they're like, no, you can't possibly do that. And so it goes round. So thank you. You might be responsible for this Lego story show just carrying on for a few more years. Lewis, hello, thank you. And I'm a teenager now too. Olivia, what? You were Olivia, age 10. That was literally your name. And now you're not 10. Oh no, you were Olivia P actually, weren't you? Well, Olivia, age 10. And now you're a teenager. That's very weird. That's very weird. I keep saying, like, if my life gets turned into a film, I want the end of the film to just be me, like, as a really old person sitting on a bus, feeling a bit sad and wistful about how, oh, it's all over. And then, like, just someone walk past and be like, Lara. And me be like, and then be like, it's me, Olivia P. Except you'll be like 65 or something and I'll start crying and then the film will end. Can you sort that out? Thanks. All right. What is Sophie saying about, oh, Katie also made a pumpkin. What is this pumpkin technique you guys have got? Where it's like orange paper, but I can't see the seams. It looks scrunched up, but it's neater than being scrunched up. I don't know. I like it. I really like it. That is a very cute little pumpkin. Look at that. So cute. Okay, let's focus. Lara, are you yes. Violet, you got it in one. Milo and Zebedee there, and Lyra. So maybe I have said hello to everyone. I better go really, because I must admit I've got quite a lot of work to do on tomorrow's lesson. There's Jancy, there's Jacob. Oh yeah, the museum in Bradford. Thank you. Yeah, I must get to that. There's Arthur again. There's Violet again. Banjo, the dog. All right, and also some humans. All right, okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for joining me a lot. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thank you for paying me actual money. Charlie, thank you for messaging me if you think that your envelope might have got lost in the post or something's gone wrong, and I will send you another one. Thank you for signing up. Remember to tell me how many kids there are in your house and I'll send you the right amount of glasses. And I will see you live maybe tomorrow on Facebook. I'm live tomorrow doing an all ages lesson on the oceans and an IGCSE physics lesson. Or if you liked this, you can come back on Thursday at 9 o'clock and I'm live on YouTube again with the oceans lesson, or I'm live at 10:30 with a new Lego show, I guess about witches, because that's what you want me to do, but I cannot think of an activity that relates to it at all. So if you can, then please let me know. Thank you. See you all very soon. Thanks so much. Bye.